Hey, welcome to another episode of People Think About It. Today's conversation is going to be on your mate or your partner as a business partner, and we're going to touch on some things today, and get you guys to thinking that maybe you might be right with your business partner and not know it, or maybe you may be. All right, so we're going to start this conversation off. So we're going to talk about just doing business with your partner. Like my perspective, I've always been a partner type person because it gives you two different visions on something. Because sometimes when you're doing it by yourself and you get so entwined into your business that sometimes you can overlook things or you feel so strongly about things that it could hurt or damage you. But I always believed in partnership. Because sometimes, like I say, people can see things that you can't see. Then you get it from a different perspective of business. So that usually works out good for me. So we're going to just join in this conversation and see how other people feel about, business and doing business with your significant other or your partner, or even just having a partner, even if they're not your significant other.
Well, I can honestly say that I'm a 9-to-5er. I'm not an entrepreneur. I just got that spirit once I met Lamar. When we first met, he was doing Boca Fitness. So it was like boxing and karate together. So he called it Boca Fitness, Boka. And because I like fitness and because he was a trainer, it worked out. So I helped when I could, or he asked me to help him do something. I would be at some of the trainings and help some of the ladies. And so I think it's a good thing if you have a partner that believes in what you do and then they want to join in and help. That's an ultimate, what they call it, couple goals.
Oh yeah, it's goals for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say mine's to last, so we're gonna go ahead and give the mic to Mckenzie. Go ahead, Mckenzie. He got notes today, y'all. So yeah.
Well, one of the things too about partner in doing business is the biggest thing is knowing your lane. Knowing your lane, because sometimes you can do business and sometimes you can step over into that lane that you don't know, and then it causes some kind of ruckus or chaos. But I'm a firm believer in, like, it's like anything else. If you're good with organizing, then hey, handle that part of the business that needs to be organized. If you're good at handling the money, then handle the part of the business that deal with the money. Maybe whatever the business is that we choose to be in, maybe I'm so focused on doing that business that I'm not really paying attention to the finance like I should, or I'm not paying attention to customer acquisition and stuff. And maybe that's what you're good at. And I just believe that everybody need to, like, when you start doing business, get in a lane.
Mm-hmm. But I also think it's really cool to be involved in something you've never been involved in before, and then you learn so many different things. Learn from other people. Like another business Lamar was in was managing a comedian. Never done that before ever, but Lamar has managed people, so it was fun to meet the comedians because I like comedy, and to meet different people who are in that line of work. So it also is a great networking system when you have a business, and then you can bounce it off on your significant other. Right.
So let's hear what Mckenzie got to say. Mckenzie came with notes today and everything.
Go ahead, Mckenzie.
Oh, we're gonna let Mckenzie speak.
So I look at it as doing business with your partner. You got, I was gonna say two, but you got three different people. You got one. You got one who's more so just want to help. You could already be established, like me doing photography, whatever. But I am a strong creative. I really don't have nothing to do with the business side. Okay. I hate the business side of it, but I have to do it. Right. But Dominique's way better with that kind of stuff and dates and structure and all of that. And I just want to just shoot the pictures.
Right.
So you can have that kind of dynamic. The other two is going to either be passive, where I want the extra money or whatever, but I don't want to deal with the day-to-day. I just want the money. Right. So that will fall into the passive income group. And some examples for that would be, for instance, I know a couple that I work with through the photography that have bought and operate drink machines. Okay. And they're all over the Southwest Atlanta area. and they're pulling in anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a week.
Okay.
Okay. Another one would be, and this one is going to sound crazy, it's going to raise some eyebrows, but it is actually getting your hands on an apartment complex. I actually was brought to my attention from a commercial on YouTube, and I thought it was a gimmick or whatever. But it's actually a real thing you do. You don't use your own money. You've actually got millionaires out here who are always looking to invest in something to flip their money. So you bring it to them, the apartment complex, whatever, you bring your business proposal to them, and then they'll look at it, and if they want to invest in it, then next thing you know, you have a property that you're co-owner with that millionaire, and then you're pulling in anywhere from $500,000 to $600,000 a month. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right? So then the other example would be merchandising through Amazon, where you're getting pallets of stock. It could be anything. It could be speakers. It could be laptops. It could be TVs. And they have these pallets that's sitting there, leftover merchandise from stuff that retailers couldn't sell. You buy it at a very low bulk rate, and you turn around and you piece it out and sell it through Amazon. Amazon facilitates the whole thing. And that's also a lucrative thing, but the income it varies.
Right.
Okay, so your other group will be your main income. This is what I want to do for a living, and I want to help, and I want to be a partner, and I want to be hands-on with it, whatever. So you're looking at opening a business, obviously, a restaurant, a store, or online business. So you have that going on. You can tag team a trade. So instead of me just doing the photography and say Dominique just helping me with my calendar, she's actually picking up the camera and we both going to do a wedding together. That'll be tag teaming your trade, or what you already do. I think that's one of the easiest ones, to incorporate your partner into what you're already doing. And the other one that I have on here is meal prep. And meal prepping, if you already know how to cook, or somebody in the house already knows how to cook, whatever, you can buy some plastic, a whole bunch of plastic
containers, and
you can start. Somebody might say, "Oh, your chicken is good," or "The mushroom burgers are good," and so you get like a whole bulk of them and start put a menu out, and one person cooks, the other person delivers.
Hey, I like that.
So that's all I got.
That's it. So Mckenzie, is it? Do you think it's hard to share those different attributes of your business with your partner, or do you feel like if you have a business with her that you have to keep? Are you going to be open and tell everything that's going on in the business, or is it stay in your lane?
It depends on what group you fall into. I think how hands on or how involved do you want to be in the situation. And on top of that, for me, I had to get educated on this stuff. It's not like I just know this stuff. I had to learn about it. And I've been studying it for a while, trying to see how I could get into it, because I do want to get to a situation to where more so passive income, where you have money being made in your sleep.
Hey.
Talking to your partner about it, if they don't get excited about money, more so than anything, we can make money, and you don't have to go work your 9 to 5 every day.
Well,
you don't have to clock in. You got money coming in. That is something that I feel like should be a good conversation. If it's not, then there may be something else going on there.
Well, you know what? I think that you have to create a passion for something.
Yeah.
If you create that passion for something, money will come. It's just like I heard T.D. Jakes said. He explained it very well. He was like, if you take like Beyonce, Jay-Z, or anything like that, right? You got people running to them to spend money with them, whether they want to do a commercial song or whatever the heck. Yeah. But it's to the point that you doing what you really like. And when you do what you really like, instead of you chasing money begin to chase you. That's the part where you want to be when you talk about passive income. You want it to the point that money's chasing you and you're not chasing it. Because the biggest thing is, and one of my mentors used to always say this, his famous words was, you know what, money can outwork you, but you can't outwork it. Mm-hmm. So it's just like Mckenzie say, the whole time, you find a lane or avenue that you fit into, whether it's photography, whether it's barbering, whether it's doing resumes, whatever that may be that you do, and you do it with a passion. And then, that money will begin to chase you, because, as you do your photography, then people are like, man, that guy took some really great shots at my wedding. And they're going to refer you to somebody else. and then you do that, and it's going to perpetuate, and it's going to be next thing you know.
And it could be really fun too, because at the same time, doing that with your mate is not just making money. Of course, you're making money, but you're doing something together. It's something else that brings you two closer, because you don't know. It's a whole other element to it when you create something or you're doing something like that, and you're prospering in it. You know, I can see it as being a elevation situation. You know,
you create a commonality between the two of y'all, because now you have something to talk about. You know, sometimes you have relationships where it's like, you know, sometimes you sit back and be like, oh, we don't got nothing in common, but if we can come together and put our brains together and we can create something, oh, well, now we got money in common.
Right.
Okay, cool. So where do we go from here? You know, now my take on building stuff with your partner, I feel like it's a great opportunity for one, the relationship, 2, the finances, and 3, you know, especially if y'all are in the same line of work, now it just it brings excitement, it brings happiness, it's refreshing. Now back to what Dorshell was asking, as far as, do you share all of this information with your partner, the finances, the money? Yes. If y'all are going to work together, it needs to be an open book, because it's like, yeah, Mckenzie can go shoot, but I need to know what's going on, because I'm going to be the one handling the background. I'm going to be the one looking at the plus and the minuses. So yeah, we have to be completely transparent in our space of having this business, especially if I know that's my strong suit and what his strong suit is. So yes, everything has to be laid out. This is how much it's going to cost us to do X, Y, Z. This is how much money we need to put out for a new camera. This is how much we need to put out for a studio. We need to have those kind of conversations. You know, are we breaking even in situations, or are we actually making some money when we do this? Does it make sense from the business perspective?
Right, having a plan.
Right. So, you know, because now you don't want to create chaos in your relationship when you're trying to create something. So, yeah, you talk about it. You put things in place. And from there, you kind of grow that business. Now, if it's more on like he said, how much you want to help. Oh, if I just want to be on the back end and I just want to clean the cameras and stuff, hey, that's fine. That's how much I want to be involved. I just want to look at the pictures, and maybe I just want to do promotion. I don't really want to be on the business side. I don't want to take no pictures. I just want to promote.
Right.
I can do that. So yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, I think it's a great thing to do, especially when y'all have similarities in that space.
Right. Yeah, it's like I say, to me, is like everybody knowing their place. In whatever business you choose to do, everybody knowing their position, knowing what their responsibilities is. You know, if you sit back and you look at corporate America, you know, I tell people this all the time, like you can look at Apple, Windows, you can look at Tesla. Even though we know these guys, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and we know these guys that own these companies, but their structure of hiring people is what keep them afloat, because they can't do it all themselves. Right. So everybody, when I hire somebody, I have to know what their place is. You know, it's just like even once we establish that business as a couple, we still may have to bring somebody else in. You know, I mean, like you know, I might have to say if I'm doing barbering, I might have to say, well, you know what, I want to cut back on my cutting, but I want to expand. So I got to go out and get other barbers, you know, and they got to know their place, you know. And so like if my wife is running, let's say, the books and things like that of that shop, I got to get them people to understand, well, this is what she do. When you see her, this is the book lady. Right. She running numbers. She going to make sure that y'all paying y'all rent. And she going to make sure that y'all doing the things that y'all supposed to be doing financially, you know, and knowing that this is her lane right there. And then, like you say, later on, when we come together, we come to the table and, hey, this is what's going on, Lamar, with numbers. This is what's going on. Hey, this is what's going on with the shop, Dorshell. So we both talking to each other and communicating. And sometimes, and another thing is this, and I've been in business for a long time, for over 30-some years. And sometimes for us, mostly people that are entrepreneurs, their mind never stops. It's always going, you know. And the thing about it is this, that sometimes, I know, and I will say me, I can become so creative that I might be trying to put something together, and I really don't want to discuss it until I have it together, because sometimes when you go to share something with somebody about an idea you have in your mind, they begin to ask so many questions, you don't have the answers to those questions. And sometimes that can cause you to get frustrated. So I know with me, I'd rather come to you when I got a plan. This is the plan. Now you can ask me all the questions you want. Now I can answer those questions. But if I come to you prematurely, I can't answer the questions.
Right.
You know?
And I also think too, because like we said at the beginning, you can have a great turnout with your partner, creating a business and building a business and, keeping the business afloat. But you also have to make sure you have the right type of partner, because you can also in turn mess up any and everything that you may have. That person cannot be the person that you thought they can in business. I've seen so many relationships, and I know even from my experiences, it can crash and burn when it comes to trying to create or bring somebody into your craft and in your space. Sometimes it doesn't go well. So everybody, even the person that you lay next to, may not be looking for you to succeed. They don't want you to oversee them or whatever the case may be. So you gotta really see what kind of person you got on your arm when you trying to create these businesses and really pay attention to how do they handle their own stuff. Are they, when you do tell them something, how do they receive it?
Yeah, right.
Is it positive? Is it negative? Are they inquiring about the things that you're putting forth? That to me, it says a lot. I always ask, how does your shoot go? I want to know. I'm interested. I want to pick up a camera.
So I got a question.
Some of these examples that I gave, or these are all people that I work with through the photography, and I know for a fact that some of these couples hate each other, but their business is lucrative, it's booming, it's doing so it's weird. I see the potential, but I don't understand the dynamic. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I know all the ins and outs about. I mean, I can ask them, they can tell me, but I know they don't like each other. And I don't know how they got to that point, because some of them I shot their wedding. But it's just like, I don't know.
It's business.
I feel like, and I don't know, some people may say, no, that's not true, but I feel like in marriage, and no, I'm not married currently, not at this moment, but I feel like marriage is business. You go to the court and you sign over, and y'all are an entity of that state. It's a business. I feel like you're supposed to be making money with that person. Y'all are a business. That's how I feel.
I got a question.
I'm not saying you can't love your partner, but it's business.
I got a question I want to throw around the table here.
Okay.
In doing business with your partner, you live with them, you live with them, you do business with them. How do you feel, or how do you may feel about burnout? Like, sometimes it's like, I'm here with you every day. I do business with you every day. And it's like every single solitary day, even though you may enjoy what you do as far as business, even though you enjoy one another, but do you ever feel or think that you can get to that state of burnout? We need our space now. I need some time.
Y'all should still have that regardless. Y'all should still have your own space regardless. Business or no business, y'all have to have that. And I mean, some people require more space than others. But I feel like it's still necessary to maintain the relationship, whether it's financial, love, whatever. You need to have that time to yourself. Go hang out with your boys. Go hang out with your girl. Go to do something for yourself. Go with your family. Whatever. Y'all still need that, because the relationship still has to stay afloat. The business can stay afloat, but in order for y'all to have a successful business, I feel like y'all still got to give each other some space in order to maintain the relationships or in order to maintain the business. So yeah, I think that's a no-brainer.
Because I've known couples that have worked together and they actually got burned out. They got burned out because they with each other every single solitary day.
And like I was saying, that's also something. You can do the business together, but you can also still have that passive income. Let's say you and Dorshell got a real big booming business together, right? But y'all starting to get burnt out. You need a break. You can go on vacation because I got this other passive income coming in. I'm good. So, I mean, you do want to have a backup plan. You do want to have a fallback, where I can go chill and breathe and whatever.
I'm getting away from you and the business.
Right. But I mean, to be clear though, once you get into that space, whatever, it does not stop. So it's like, okay, you might need to take a break, but if you need to make sure that you are in a place to where you can take a break, there are some of these examples that they don't get a break. Like if they stop, they don't make no money.
Right.
You see,
and I guess what is creating, because if it's something that we both enjoy doing, truly and wholeheartedly, I don't really see burnout being a thing. Now, I might just need a break from the business, and maybe I need to go out, and eat with my girls, or get my feet done, or go on a girls trip. Okay, that's fine. But I don't think being in that space, I would get burnt out, because for us it's a creative space. So it's like something always new. Writing scripts, writing books, doing movies. It's exciting.
Especially if you're traveling.
Yeah, you're doing these things in different places. Yeah, it's like we get to see something new together all the time. Now again, I'm not saying y'all can't have y'all separate spaces and you do what you do and I do what I do. But I don't know. Money don't make me get burnt out. I want it all. I need to be able to go to Maldives
redundancy
in a jet.
Yeah. Now, if you're doing, if all we do is, say I do photography, me and her doing photography here in Lawrenceville, and the only thing we do is shoot it downtown Lawrenceville by the park, and that's all we shoot at. We never go anywhere. I think the monotony of it, the redundancy will burn you out. You go, I'm sick of shooting these kids over here, just play around. Right. But if we here in Atlanta one week, the next week we in New York, the next week we over in Paris, we get to go to Africa. That's different. The burnout never happens because you on an adventure, it seems like every other day. You looking at your calendar on the wall like, oh, we got that shoot in Hawaii. All that. And it's like, that's amazing. And that's like something that I've been, inspired to do, but I've never had it in my head to say, oh, I can do this with my partner. I can show her this was this with the camera, this and that. And she already got the eye. Yeah. So it's just like, work the camera and we out. We shoot weddings, whatever. And I feel like as Americans, we appreciate family businesses. When you walk in a restaurant and say it's family owned, whatever, it feels better than you walking in Pizza Hut. Go Papa John. It's family owned business. It's that seal, regardless if they lying or not. If it's a family business, something somebody created, we tend to appreciate it more. Yeah. And so I
totally agree with you on that, Mckenzie. Going to the same places, doing the same thing every day could be a burnout. But if you got the passive income now, you're not doing a 9 to 5, and you got that money to say, okay, well. We got, we can book 2 weeks out and we can go do something together, or we can book 2 weeks out and do something there that has something to do with our business. So that's great. I agree with you on that one, Mckenzie. And then also, Dominique, when you said money is what you like, right, and you want to see it, and it makes you want to do more when you see that check come in or whatever. And when you see that money coming in, you feel like, okay, I can get up and do it again. Right. So yeah, that's very important.
So then the question would be, is money your motivator or is the business your motivator?
I think having the life.
Yeah.
I think
the lifestyle. Yeah. Because I know I've set a goal, or I have dreams and aspirations of what I want, what I see for my daughter, my husband, myself. I know what I see for my future. So for me, in order for me to have that, I got to have money, but I got to be motivated. Something going to have to motivate me. Right. So for me, being a creative, I'm always like, yeah, I'm going to go write a script, and then I'm going to have a movie, and then I'm going to put the movie out there, and I'm going to do, and it's great, and then I'm going to get the money, and then when I get the money, I can do whatever I want, because money is not the issue now. If I got any issues, it's everything else but money. That is what my motivation is. I want to be able to go buy my mother a Range Rover and tell her to pick what color she wants. That's my motivation. Right. I want to be able to get up in the morning and say, you know what, let's go to Paris for lunch, because I feel like I want something from over there. Right. That's my motivation. I wouldn't necessarily say, you can't have one without the other. You can have a business without money, but I feel like the money, like you said, the money is going to find you when you're passionate about what you're doing.
Right. That's why I asked that question. Yeah, so is it really about the money or the passion?
I guess it depends on what you're doing. If you're not passionate about it, then you're trying to get to the money. But if you're doing something truly from your soul, everything else is going to fall in line.
Right, and I agree. I totally agree with that's what I'm saying. Like I got it from when like I say, when TD Jake said that. So it's more of your passion than the money, and that's why I related to when he said that, and I guess that came from being in business so many years, because some of my years in business, I was truly like chasing the dollar. Right. Just doing whatever I had to do, just chasing, and just chasing that dollar.
It was
and
away from you.
and you know what I mean, like it comes to a point when is enough, you know. I had this, I done this, I did this, you know what I mean. So when he started explaining it about the passion, well, your passion is you're gonna do it whether you make $1 or not. Exactly. But because it's your passion, you're usually gonna make money from it. You know.
And whenever you walk in your purpose and you're doing something from the soul, if you can say, and this is what I tell my clients when it comes to, you know, creating and doing things. If it's your purpose, that means you can get up every day and not make any money from it and feel fulfilled.
Yes.
That to me determines what your purpose is. Are you working in your purpose, in your passion? I know I can get up every day and write a script, and I ain't getting no money for it, but I love it and I'm excited.
Right.
And I know if I go and shoot that, I know I helped somebody. Somebody laughed today. Somebody cried today. Somebody seen something that helped them. I know that, and I'm okay with that. That's enough. I feel fulfilled. So then what happens? Oh, you know, Dominique, we would love to have you in the Sundance Festival. Oh, okay. You know, that may not be necessarily money right there, but it gives me the opportunity to see all of these different people that make, you know, it opens up doors and more opportunities. So you got to be working it from the right place.
Right. I would agree with that. So, you got to be in the right state of mind and in the right place, you know, to know it, because, you know, like I said, I've been around, you know, business people. I've been around celebrities and this, that, and that. I see people that do stuff, they just chasing the dollar. They don't care what it costed for them to chase it. They don't care who they hurt when they chasing that dollar, you know, and they just do a lot of things, you know, and, you know, it's just like even like this podcast, you know, like when I thought about the name, people think about it. It's just to be open-minded to everybody's creativity, you know, to their thought process, because you're not the only one that thinks like that. You're not the only one that feels like that. But like you say, if we're sharing these things and it changes somebody else's life, I feel like I've done good in life, you know, because I might not have got rewarded financially for it at this present time.
You may not even know the reward was even given.
And you know, and because this is so, people like one day I went on to check out our things, and somebody from Italy or somebody had checked out people think about. So it's worldwide. You never know who you're touching. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's you got something, kids?
No, I was gonna say just the passionate part. I'm very passionate about it, you know, and I mean, I think that's another telltale sign that you're walking and if you're a little crazy. You know, as they say, most creators are crazy. You know, we are. And so it's just like certain things that she has to reel me back in. I think we just, what did I say the other day? Oh, I think it's tacky when I do a photo shoot for somebody, and when they get their pictures back, they don't say that they like them or they hate them or anything. They don't give me no feedback. They just nothing. And I know people say good news is no news is good news, right? But
did they pay you?
Yeah, I got
it
right.
See, that's
And that's what she said. That's what she said.
But then again, I understand Mckenzie's point, because even though, like you say, he recognized that, hey, Dominique can handle the scheduling, the money, and this and that and the other, because I trust in her. But this is my passion, and you know what? What's going to motivate me more and make me a better photographer? Somebody give me the feedback on what my vision was when I shot them. I get it.
Into the old art thing,
and that's just like when I cut hair.
The process behind it and everything is a lot. And everything that I know and everything I put into your pictures, and I'm trying to give you the best product, I give it to you. Okay, thank you. Then go about your way.
And that's the separation I'm talking about between the money and the passion.
Well, you know, Mckenzie shot our group photo the other week, and I looked at it so many times, Mckenzie, and I was like, did he enhance something about me? Because I could see everybody had a glow, and it was a really good picture. You're absolutely right, I didn't say Mckenzie does a great picture initially.
It's not,
but for real, on a real tip, it was like amazing. Like, it looks like it kind of captured everybody's personality, you know. So that's my
I appreciate it. I mean, it's not. I'm not a person that looks for the pat on the back necessarily for my work. I feel like your work for to speak for itself, and all of that. It's just you can get a little crazy when you, especially when you get a project and you you put your foot in it, and you give it to them, whatever, and it's just like.
Yeah, because
nothing. But that's just me.
Yeah,
that's just.
I mean, but I get it because I understand the creative side. Because, like I say, when I barber, it's not about a guy get out of the chair and pay you for his cut. But when you're in a shop with 6 or 7 other guys, and they're like, "Man, that cut was hitting." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like you're getting from your peers. Mm-hmm. You're getting this praise from your peers. It's like Mckenzie said, I don't look to get pat on the back, but then when you step back and other people are like, man, you like you said, you put that makes you even better at your craft.
Yeah, it's good. What I mean? It's good to have someone in your life that reeled you back in from your crazy. They tell you to go somewhere and sit down. You got paid. You did a good job. There you go. You want me to tell you good? It look good. Okay, you good.
I guess I just I understand people.
And if he needs that, that's good. Yeah. I mean, because on my side gig I do resumes on the side, also life insurance. But whenever somebody gets a resume from me, a couple of weeks later they'll call me like, "I got the job," and I'm like, "Great!" I mean, that makes me want to do more, and so they'll refer me to another person, and another person, and another person, and I love that creative. I love to write too, so I'm a writer, and the reward is somebody got the job, right? Not necessarily because I can give them a resume and don't hear from them a week or two later, and it's like when they call, it's like I got the job,
right. But I mean, I guess I don't take nothing away from it because I work out of a different space with my creativeness. There's really ain't no real thank you for what I do. For me, the thank you, well, I'll take that back. If I'm speaking about the word of the day, because I'm real honest and open and transparent and. I'm giving people something to fuel their day. I'm the Folgers in the morning, okay? I'm telling you, listen, hey, don't worry about all that. That struggle that you're going through, don't worry about that. You ain't know you had to go through that journey to get everything you wanted, and I'm always filling everybody up with positivity. And I do get my thank yous. Oh, I needed that. That was right on time. It feels great. So I do understand what he's saying for sure. I stopped doing them for a while, but they coming back. I think I needed to just... I'll be working on so many things on the back end. It kind of take precedence to the stuff that I should be doing.
Because I got a script for you. For real. I got one for you.
I'm ready. I'm ready to shoot now. I done had some hiccups with one of my seasons, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But just again, I think to reel everything back in and everything that we spoke on. As far as having and being able to build businesses and keep businesses afloat, keeping your relationship good too while having these businesses, understanding your partner, what are their strong suits, what are their weaknesses, where do you fit in that business, and just making sure that at the end of the day, when all else is said and done, y'all are good.
Well, let me ask you this question as a couple: what if by chance Mckenzie blows up, right? He blows. I mean, you helping him doing what you do, and then all of a sudden Mckenzie blows up. I mean,
leave him for a white woman.
Kanye West on him. That's crazy. That's funny. That's funny. Right, but when he blows up, how do you think that makes the relationship? How would you feel being in that relationship? Would you still?
How does it change the dynamics of the relationship?
Yeah, like now he's like really doing tours. Now he's shooting pictures for Oprah. I mean, whatever the case may be. So how did you feel as like you was the Folgers? You was the one like you pushed him to this elevation.
The Folgers with a little espresso on the side. That's.
Cause she coming with me. There's no way I'm gonna be going around doing all these shoots and she's not there. Like she's coming. Her and the baby, they gonna be there.
Okay. Yeah. So.
That's not even a question. Like she's coming. She gonna probably be shooting. She gonna have the camera too. So it's just like I'm not gonna enjoy that success by myself.
Gotcha.
And being that I understand, I know him, and I know it's always it always sounds really in the clouds when we speak. I know sometimes, but again, you would have to be in our relationship to understand the dynamic. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, I know I would be there. I ain't gotta ask no question. And I know he ain't leaving me for no white woman. He know what he got. So if he lose it, that's on him.
A Puerto Rican, he gonna leave you for a Puerto Rican woman.
Oh God.
Well, that's all right. Hey,
but you learn so much, so you can go ahead and you can.
Oh yeah,
you can move on too.
Hey, competition. How you doing? So yeah, no worries there for sure.
I think I'm a person too where it's like I don't want to be successful by myself. I think that is the main thing take away from it. I don't think any of us were meant to do this alone. I don't care what you decide. I don't care if you cut grass. I don't care if you go dump the trash. You're not meant to do it alone. You're meant to do it with somebody. You need to be able to look over to that person and say, look what I did. And they can look and show you what they did,
Yeah.
Even if it's a team.
Just to piggyback off, when you look at life itself, you cannot do life by yourself. I don't care who you are. Anybody that sit back and say, I did this by myself, they don't understand life. Because you never, ever do something and succeed without the help of some individual, directly or indirectly. If you're selling candy, well, guess what? I need people to buy this candy in order to be successful. So you can't sit up and say, hey, I did it by myself. You need to find a supplier for your candy. You need that. So you got to use somebody. Like I said, you got to find somebody that once you get it and merchandise it, you got to find somebody that want to buy it. You need people for that. So nobody does anything by themselves,
Right. And let me add a little side note in before I forget. Whatever you decide to do, make sure that you take the time out to get educated on what it is you're about to jump into before you do it. I mean all the way top to bottom. Go take a class, watch a YouTube video that's 3-4 hours, read an article, get educated on what you're doing before you jump in, because sometimes you can't blame nobody but yourself.
Well, sometimes I think you just got to jump in some things depending upon what you're doing. I mean, like the military. The military calls it OJT, on the job training. You learn while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Some things, I'm not saying all things, but some things you have to learn while you're doing it, because where somebody might do something a certain way and say, well, this is the way, you can find a better way. Mm-hmm. So, but you found your better way. Okay, like you could take you and Dominique, that I guess you've been into photography longer than she has. And the thing about it is, once she captures the eye for certain things, she can say, hey, Mckenzie, won't we shoot it from this perspective? Mm-hmm. But she learning why she doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it in a negative sense. I'm just saying sometimes you got to do on-the-job training to become better at your craft.
That would fall more into a trade. But I was saying more so like if you do, like, say, the drink machines, right? So many numbers and stuff. You're not good with math and with numbers and keeping up with spreadsheets and stuff. That might not be something you want to mess with. You might like the money coming from them drink machines, but if you're not up on numbers and keeping up with stuff like that, it might not be something you want to mess with.
Anything you invest in real money in, you really do need to get some type of understanding.
I mean, no question, you need to get some education.
Now, of course, like you said, you're going to have to learn along the way with the business, regardless, with some type of foundation.
You do need a foundation, but I'll tell you, a lot of people have learned by doing it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot of people have learned by doing it. I mean, because the thing about it is, you can sit there and read a book. You can sit there and, look at YouTube videos and this, that, and other. But until you actually put your hands on it, you don't know the feel of it, the smell of it, the taste of it until you do it. I'll give you a perfect example. I used to teach martial arts, right? Mm-hmm. And, as you progress through martial arts, you get these different level of belts and stuff like that. And we go to tournaments and stuff. People actually don't know whether the craft worked until they get to that tournament and step in that square. Mm-hmm. But I know people that go read books, get educated and stuff. But until they step in that square, now you really gonna see if it worked. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or somebody attacks you on the street, now you're gonna see if it works.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's just like I say, you take Dominique and give her a camera and you can say, hey, this is the reason I do this, and that. But until she got that camera in her hand, she better understands now because she's doing it. So that's why I'm saying from the perspectives of it.
Oh, yeah,
but
I agree.
I 100% agree with you. You need a base of understanding what you're doing.
Right.
You know, you need that base
too, because if you're going to invest in something, you go a route to get passive. To get money, you got to spend money.
Oh yeah, no question.
So I hate to keep bringing that same group up, because I asked them so many questions when they were telling me about it, and I know that he started a business from his child's savings that they were her college savings is what they used to start the business. And if you had to fail, you just blew your child's college savings. But it worked out for them. But what I'm saying is there is a level of sacrifice and a risk that you do. You roll the dice. I hear what you said, jumping out there on faith though, but sometimes rolling the dice might not be the smartest thing to do in certain situations when you're talking about big money and stuff like that can make you fall on your face. You know,
well, yeah, that's why you kind of look at all different options before you say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with this one," because that business may not be it, but you can go and make cookies.
Like I can see you doing the drink machine, Lamar. I can see you doing it.
Oh, I did vending machines at one time. I've done a lot of things, and but one thing Dominique said, I totally agree with that. I lost my train of thought here for a minute, but you know, people go out and they get involved in things, and you know, you don't know whether you're going to succeed, you don't know whether you're going to fail. That's just a chance you take. But you know, $100 invested is just as much as 100,000 invested to some people. You know, because like you just said, hey, this is all I have, and I'm going to step out here on some faith and put my $100 up. But I know what it was else I was going to say is that in even becoming a business as a couple or unit, you got to be careful, because a lot of people don't know how to do business. A lot of people, and what I mean by a lot of people don't know how to do business is just like customer service. It's just like being courteous to the people that you're pitching your business to. Yes. You know, that some people get so big in business, they get cocky, you know, and like, oh, well, then you don't want to, then get out of here. You know what I mean? But there's this thing called humbleness that will humble your tail in a minute, you know. But a lot of people don't know how to do business, you know. It's like the other day I was explaining, you know, something to Dorshell about business, that, you know, when somebody does something, and if I'm wrong and I own the business, it's up to me to correct that. You know, if I turn around and I offer somebody a discount, right? I usually charge this, but I'm gonna give you a discount, but you never asked me for a discount. Then whatever I'm giving you, you say, I don't like that. That's on me. Don't start preaching about what you usually charge. That's totally irrelevant now, because I never asked you for a discount. You know what I mean? If your price is $200, then you say, hey, I usually charge $200. You know? But if you usually charge $200 and you say, hey, I'm gonna give it to you for $100, and it don't work out, that's your problem. That's not mine. Right. Because I didn't ask for it. You offered it to me. Right. So that's when I get to a lot of people get in positions of doing business, whether it's keeping a time frame, like you were saying, Mckenzie, like, hey, you know what? I'm supposed to be at this place at 3:00. I show up at 3:30. Then I'm wondering why the people mad. Okay, because they expected me at 3:30, so I always believe. You me about that all the time. You know, show up early. You know what I mean?
And I'm a student when it comes to business. I don't have a choice. I've been in business since the day I got here. So if you know my mom, you know that. So for me, I'm always looking at it like, and I used to do hair. So, and if you know anything about Atlanta and how the hair business works, I need a deposit. If you 10 minutes late, that's all your whole deposit. That's it. I'm charging your car because you were supposed to be here on time, because I got 3 more clients after you and they expecting to get their head done. I'm a stickler on that. I don't play no games. If we set a time for 3:00, you better be there at 2:55. You might need to be there at 2:50. I'm really big on that, because my time is valuable. This is my time, my money. You need to be respectful as a customer when it comes to the business. And I feel like, you know, I know it may sound a little strict, but I don't have that type of time.
Right.
For me,
but your time is valuable.
Yeah, my time is valuable. So if I set at 3:00, don't come strolling in here at 4:00.
Right, because you can't get that hour back.
The thing. I'm gonna charge the card.
Right.
Because you just wasted my time.
So as a creative, I want to create. So I need her because she's gonna come in and be like, well, why they late? What's going on? What's going on? What time was they supposed to be? They need to try to get charged. Like I'm not the person to do that.
They'd be like, shoot something.
Right.
Dominique
you know something.
Shoot something.
You know what? I when I first started getting into business, this guy told me something that made me always never name a business using my name. He was like, Lamar, because it was the equipment company. His name was Yateman, and he named it Yateman's Equipment Company, right? So one day I seen this customer come in a little irate, and but he straightened the situation out, and he had told me, he said, man, if you ever open up a business, never ever use your name. And I was like, why? He was like, because of this. If they can't attach it to, even though you may own that business, right? If somebody come in as an irate client, right, and your last name is Smith and you call it Smith Photography, well, they're going to almost guess, I need you to fix it right now.
I tell you a secret.
I need you to fix it right. But if you name it something else, photography, you can always stay there. Even though you the owner, you can stand right in their face and say, well, let me get with the owner. But it gives you processing time to try to figure out how to straighten that situation out.
You just dropped the nugget. Yeah, that's why my photography company is Arte Valaire and it's not Mckenzie Cameron Photography.
Right.
I never wanted to put my name on it for two reasons. One, I wanted it to be a brand. I wanted to live on and exist on its own. If I kick the bucket tomorrow, I want it to still be around.
Right.
I want it to still be a thing. If you die, your name attached to it. It kind of dies too sometimes, unless you're Disney or somebody.
Right.
Hopefully your business is profits is that big, but most people not. But if you have something that it kind of lives on, it kind of gives it its own life, makes it immortal. But at the same time, my name's not attached to it. So you don't know who the lead photographer is. You don't know who the main guy shooting the pictures. You don't know who doing the editing. You don't know. You
don't know. And when he told me that, I was like, wow, that was powerful. So every business I ever had, I never used my name, especially if I had to deal with people on a regular. And then I used to own a women's clothing boutique. And it was so funny because my own kind would not even help me. I'll put it that way. I met a gentleman, a white guy, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to tell you what to do. I said, man, all you got to do is lead me to the door. I'll get in. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you 30 years of knowledge of business that I've been in this business 30 years. And that's cool with me. But the knowledge he gave me led me to New York, led me to how to deal with wholesalers, jobbers, designers. I mean, he told me that much. So when I went to New York, I knew what I was looking for. I knew exactly what I was looking for. But it was amazing that, and it's kind of amazing to me in business that it's just like the four of us sitting here at this table. Dorshell could be doing photography. You could be doing photography, Dominique. Mckenzie could be doing photography. I'm the kind of person like this. I'll take what I know and show all three of y'all. You know what I mean? But then you have that person that's in business that will say, I ain't showing them nothing. You're going to take my clients. Are you kidding me? I don't even want to deal with you with that kind of mentality, that you feel like you're the only photographer in the world and everybody that wants to take a photo or shoot is your client. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And you spoke on it earlier when you said people are after $1 and people are in it for their passion. If you're passionate about it, you actually a true creative, you're going to say, and we talk about it, you can't I can show you how to do it, but you're not going to be able to recreate without the way I did.
Exactly. And that's what people don't understand. I used to tell people.
Though, you always scared. You saw the next person coming to jump over, to leapfrog you, and take your business, and take your money, take your clients. You're scared. You're just scared all the time. And it's like, you're not a real creative.
Right. Because I tell you, I used to tell people like this. When people used to come and ask me about how to open up a barbershop, you can open up shop right next door to me, and I'm going to tell you where to go get equipment. I'm going to tell you how to do this and do that. But guess what? What's for me is for me.
Right.
So you're never going to become a threat to me saying, because I just think that's a major problem. It's just like you spoke earlier, Dominique, even in partnership and business relationships that people are married couples and stuff, there's one person that might be that's in that thing trying to take you down. Don't want to see you succeed.
Yeah, they're trying to sabotage
you know,
for sure. And that's why I say it's a tricky game. You know, you really gotta, and I know people change every day, so I know it's kind of a cliche to be like, you need to know your person all the time, but you gotta, because you're gonna, in a relationship, for one, you're gonna go through things that's gonna reveal who that person is over time. You know what I mean? So at that point, you can use your discernment to see if this is somebody that I can really trust in this business. You know, are you gonna go to the bank and take all the money out?
Because money, the dynamics of it, as that business start growing and the wealth begins to rise, sometimes that change people. That change people.
And I look at LeBron and his wife, and I really just kind of started eagle-eyeing them because I'm like, God, I don't know their relationship in and out, but I love how she can be a part of what he's doing, but she's not taken away from what he's doing. And she could be doing something, he's not taken away from that. They're coming together.
That's like Steph and his wife.
Yeah, I love that dynamic. But you, again, cliche as it sounds, you got to know your person.
Yeah, that's
and life is going to that's a business. You know, because he's not just playing basketball. Off season, he's shooting for this company and that company. He doing books and he doing commercials and he in movies. Yeah, that's a part of you too. So how has she been handling herself this whole time? And when he got a little bit, how does she handle it? And a little bit more, how has she handle it?
And then when is it, not to cut you off, but when is a business, and this sounds kind of harsh, but knowing your position because of the mere fact that he's contractually obligated to do some of these things, and hey, I can't be there. You know what? When you take somebody like that, if you take that profession like basketball, like you say, still that husband is a part of the business, the wife is part of it, because there's women that play basketball too that's married. But you're contractually involved in something, and I might have to travel without you because of this contract. But you got to know your place, and like you say, knowing the person that you with, because if you were a person that feel like I need to move every time you move, that might be some problems because I mean, you could be in something, involved in somebody. It's just like when I was in the music business, right? Some of those guys were married, right? But we were contractually involved in something that we might have to go to California. Well, a promoter is only going to give you a certain amount of rooms, only going to pay for a certain amount of airfare and stuff like that. So unless you want to come out of your pocket and do it, it's not going to get done. So let us go do the business that's going to benefit us as a family, and I'll be back, But again, it goes back to you saying, like you say, people knowing their place, knowing their partner. So what were you just going to say, Joyce? You lost it.
I lost my train of thought.
So I was going to say, on the flip side, LeBron and his wife.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Savannah. Okay, LeBron and Savannah. On the flip side, there is Tom and Giselle, Tom Brady and Giselle.
Right.
And I would say if you are in a business to where your partner is more so in a helping role and you in a business that is demanding on you, like football, and you have to understand that there has a expiration date where it's time to go sit down. You didn't make so much money, friend. There's nothing else for you to do while you're still doing it, right? At this point, and they had an agreement. At this date, you're going to retire. Right? He didn't do that.
Well, we don't know that because that's what the media put out there.
Well, he said out his own mouth because now he's retired. He retire.
He talking about coming back now. Did you know that?
No.
He talking about coming back.
So this is what I'm saying. There is a flip side to it, to where you can have somebody that's so engulfed in whatever this thing is that they don't ever want to get to a point to where they can walk away from it and be with their family and whatever. You didn't became so successful. Why are you still doing it? It's the time to walk away from it. In some of it, sometimes you can do it till you old and you can't do it no more. But sometimes it's something that is physical or whatever, and you need to let it go.
But I think it becomes about, like we were talking about earlier. I think it's just his passion, his drive. He is just like he wants to win at everything. Like there's people that want to win at everything.
At what cost? What about your family?
But I can't determine another man's cost. But I understand what you're saying because at the end, if it's between this and my family, hopefully I'm gonna be wise enough to choose my family
Right.
because, like you said, Mckenzie, eventually the football going to end whether I wanted to or not.
It's not about the money anymore.
You know,
he gets more money off of doing them Hertz commercials. Hertz commercials. Let's go. Right.
Yeah.
He making more money off of that than football.
Well, I like I said, I don't speak on it because I don't know his situation, whether he money hungry. I don't know whether he passionate or hungry or whatever.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, Lamar, because you don't know what these people are doing. I mean, at the end of the day, LeBron and Savannah look great. And when he got
when the camera shines,
I'm sure they had the conversation about him eventually.
And
retired.
so I know that Savannah's got her own thing she was doing at one point. And and it may have been them communicating, saying, "Okay, this is what I do. You find your passion, you do it." And then they come together, and it's like, and it looks good. On media, it looks good. I mean, we don't know the inside. Right. I have followed so many couples in the celebrity world, and they end up not together no more. So you can't base it on just a picture.
Well, yeah, I mean, not basing it on a picture, but I'm just saying as far as what they have together and what they have separately. And granted, the relationship can be shit, excuse my French. Right. But they know they're still a business. As a married couple, they are still.
Oh yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. They probably totally understand, sure. and it's just like her stepping into that arena to who he is and what he became. Right. That goes back to what you're saying, knowing your partner. You got to understand what I'm gonna marry this man. Do I realize what I'm walking into? Right. Because this joker is LeBron James. Right. You know what I mean? But
I think she has a big hand in his success, though. Yeah. Because I'm pretty
like
sure.
Like Obama and Michelle. And he says it all the time.
He wouldn't be nobody without her.
Right. So I think, again.
No, you're
I mean, like I say, I don't. I try. When people get in these, I don't, because all we know is what, like Dorshell says, what the media presents to us, right?
I've heard Obama say.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, but I love it because he ain't gonna play about her. He gonna say what he gotta say and how he feel and what she did and her man and everything, and he glorifies that, and I appreciate him for that. Right. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like all in all, yes, a business can be built with your partner.
Yeah,
I think that's amazing because it's like they accuse Obama of being basically created by the government. Like he was so perfect, and all of a black woman cleaned him up.
Well, that's media speaking. We don't know that. I don't know that. I'll put that, but y'all might know more than I know. I don't know that. Right. To me, that's. She wrote it in her book. Have you ever looked? Hey, all I know is things can be manipulated, so I don't speak on it. I don't.
You gotta give credit where credit is.
I'm not taking anything away from Michelle or whatever. Hey, all I say is, just like I tell people like this, you know what? Coretta was married to Martin Luther King. Michelle was married to President Obama. Mm-hmm. I don't know if something happens, like something happened to Martin Luther King, if something was that, I don't know who else you go marry. I mean, who else can elevate? I mean, your elevation has been so high. I mean, your elevation, but I'm saying to the point that you got to understand this, for somebody, Coretta never ever got married again. Never. So.
That's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I ain't never been married to be divorced, but I've heard a lot of things when it comes to people in marriages and why they stay and why they don't divorce, but I feel like that's
right. But I'm just saying the elevation of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying this. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm not saying anybody's right. It's just that I know that when you sit back and you start talking about these celebrities and stuff, the media can make things look one way and appear one thing. So I try to wait a minute. Hold on. I try to, for our audience, try to keep it in the most realistic manner that we can.
Okay, well, look at it this way. Okay, you named Coretta Scott, you named Michelle Obama. So let's just stick with Michelle and Obama, right? A black woman in a relationship with a black man made a partnership that led to him being the president of the United States.
And I agree with that. I mean, because that's seen, but I'm just saying the backstory we really just don't know. But we had a great conversation here today talking about, being your partners in business with your partner. We talked about, how to elevate, how to be Is it about money? Is it about passion? Is it about knowing your place in the relationship, in the business? Because when coming together, and the person you're with is probably your best partner if they got your best interests at heart. So we just want to reach out and tell you once again, we thank you all for listening to People Think About It. You can contact us at peoplethinkaboutit@gmail.com. You can listen to us on our power page at peoplethinkaboutit.com. We post every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So, become great listeners. Listen for a new episode every Wednesday at 8. And we want to thank you guys for listening again. People Think About It. What a wonderful world.